Well, a day after that horrific tragedy in Kolkata with the collapse of the flyover, there are still rescue efforts that are underway, though the hope is now fast fading of finding anyone else alive. Derek O'Brien from the Trinamool Congress now joins us from Kolkata today. Derek, is it now looking increasingly clear that it will be hard to find survivors more than 24 hours later?
71 or 72 people have been rescued overnight. A few of them are critical. You did say that the chance of finding any survivors now looks grim. That's correct. And the other thing which I would want to clarify is that the blood banks are all on standby, so there's no panic. Some people in the social media were trying to create a panic, but there's enough stock and there's a backup even for the rare blood groups in the blood bank. And the other update which I have, which I can share with you, is that the Kolkata police have detained 6 people in Kolkata from the company, the Hyderabad-based company. And I can also share with you that the Kolkata police have detained 2 people in Hyderabad. That's the head office of this company. It was a sad, these are the updates I have to share.
Derek, since you mentioned the company, there are a lot of questions being asked about this company and particularly its track record. What is now being cited, for instance, is that it was blacklisted by the UP government. It's also under the Railway Ministry's watch list. Should the state government not have done more due diligence as far as awarding this contract first to this company was concerned, and later when your government took over, should this have been revisited?
You've given 2 examples. There are other examples as well with this company about Puducherry. In Maharashtra, they have a contract. And to answer your question, this plan was made for this project in 2007. A lot of the local residents didn't like the idea in 2007. But the government of 2009, the then government, still went ahead with this project. And they gave out this contract to this dodgy company. So when we came to power in 2011, there were already issues with this company, but about 40% of the job was already completed at that time. So since 40% of the job had been completed at the time, and it's not a 2-storied building or a 3-storied building, it's a bridge. So we still need to, the government still went ahead with this company, because this is what we inherited. Having said that, if no stone will be left unturned to get to these criminals. Yesterday this company while we were literally here mourning in Calcutta and trying to do all with the rescue efforts, they gave out a statement saying it was an act of God. A few hours ago I heard they said there was a bomb blast. These kind of excuses will not do. The Chief Minister has made it very, very clear that nothing short of finding these culprits and giving them the sternest possible punishment.
But
24
Derek,
people have lost their lives.
The question also is, and I understand what you're saying, that if 40% of the flyover was already complete, it in a sense became difficult for the government to revisit it. But, you know, while you don't want to get into a blame game, in a sense, hasn't that already happened? You have the opposition that is attacking Mamta Banerjee on this today. Mamta herself, among the first things she said was that it was the CPM government that had given the contract to this company. Didn't the finger pointing begin pretty much from both sides right after the tragedy happened?
The Chief Minister of West Bengal merely stated a fact yesterday. She said the idea of the bridge came in 2007. And the second fact is that the contract was handed over in 2009. This is a statement of fact. What is happening this morning, with 4 days to go for the first round of Bengal polling, one party is dragging the army into it and politicizing the army, or attempting to politicize the army by saying that the army was sent in by a particular party. The army doesn't belong to any party. The army is the nation's army. The second party is under the pretext of blood banks. It's all very good to have blood banks. Blood banks are always a good idea. But when there's enough blood in all the banks and all backup arrangements have been had, why have those blood banks around the accident spot? We do not want to politicize this at all. But I have to tell you that the Congress, the BJP and the CPIM have been politicizing this, and they've got 3 or 4 days to go for the elections. We're not indulging in politics. Yesterday we were busy with rescue operations. Now we're busy with the criminal procedure has started. And by the way, last night itself, a high-level team comprising engineers from IIT Kharagpur, BE College Shibpur and Jadavpur University, along with the top bureaucrats, there's a committee which has been formed to look into those engineering aspects and probe that. And on the criminal aspect, the Kolkata police have put very serious charges. It's only 26 hours since this happened.
Right.
And if you look at those pictures, Nidhi, every death is a tragedy. So not because of 1 or 25,
Derek, I must
every
also
death is a
ask
tragedy.
you, I must also ask you finally that, what about the reports that Mamata Banerjee had actually asked and actually put a February deadline for this flyover to be completed? And there are some reports that suggest that that was a completely unrealistic deadline for a project that had already missed more than 7 or 8 deadlines to be completed, and she suddenly wanted the flyover to be done, to be completed and rushed through and to be ready in February, and that also added pressure to those that were working on it.
I'll answer your question in 2 parts. Firstly, no such promise was made, and Mamata Banerjee was in no hurry to inaugurate this bridge. What was the hurry? She's going to be the chief minister for the next 5 years in Bengal. So what was the hurry to inaugurate this bridge? There's no truth in that at all. And the bridge in any case was not going to be completed in 3 or 4 months because it's still only 50-60% done. And number 2, I hate to say this, but I must. There is a particular media group in Calcutta called the ABP Group, who have been indulging it. They are part of, they formed a 4-party alliance now. The Congress, the CPM, the BJP, coordinated by the ABP. So do not believe these rumors. Do not believe these rumors, and do not believe all of the media. The media has been very responsible yesterday across the board with very, very responsible reporting.
So who does the buck stop with? And Derek O'Brien, who does the buck stop with as far as this horrific incident is concerned? Because flyovers in our cities shouldn't just be falling down on people and crushing them to death. So where does the accountability lie?
The accountability always lies with the government. The chief minister was there, sitting there for 8 hours for a psychological relief. And the government's responsibility now is to bring the culprits to book. And we are not shying away from our responsibility. Let the politicians, let the political parties with 3 days to go for the elections try and make political mileage out of this. Not a problem at all. This, if they want to do that, it is sickening to do this now, but they were even doing it 1 hour after the tragedy. A minister, Babul Supriyo, sitting in Delhi, 60 minutes into the tragedy, was giving statements from Delhi of a political nature.
All right, well, one can say that Mamata Banerjee too pointed fingers at the left soon after it happened. So clearly the politics isn't amiss from this, but we take your point that it shouldn't be politicized, particularly at this time when rescue work is still underway. Derek O'Brien, thanks very much for joining us.